How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another Monday live stream. Really good to be back with you guys. This time, my setup seems to work because last week, even with the Halloween special and the change in color and light, I had a broken OBS streaming. So please say hi in the chat. Please say where you're from in the chat. I like to know where you guys are from different part of the world. Smooth stream today. I'm feeling better, for those of you asking. I'm busy with work. Had a rough weekend. A lot of stuff happened. Don't want to go into too much, but being a sound engineer in 2022 is rough. I don't want to say don't choose that as a career path, but think about it. It comes with drawback. Monsieur Fred Schmitz, I hope I pronounced that right. From Italy today, usually French. Good. Hello from France. No, actually, hello France from Canada. I probably don't speak English really well today, so please apologize. I'm going to do our best. Where is Ghana? I'm sorry, I don't. It's probably in Africa, right? I'm not really sure. I don't know my geography that well. It's been a long time since I've studied that. And I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't study that for a long time. So, hello, Milwaukee. Where is Cleveland? For those of you who get the reference. Pancho, good to have you back, my friend. Always good to have you around in the chat. You always say good answer to stuff. You're really helpful. Thank you very much for being a part of this community. I appreciate everybody, but I will give a little extra to those of you who subscribe as a member of the channel, and those who are helping a lot, like Patrick, like Pancho, Rolf, that is usually there. Where are you, Rolf? Usually you're the first one. Where are you, Rolf? All of you guys, appreciate the fact that you spend some time with me every Monday. Stratos, hello from Greece. Hello, Greece. From Canada again. I'm not moving much. Maybe next winter I'll do something in the States. We'll see. But my plan for next winter is to go down south, probably anywhere that doesn't have snow in the lower states, lower south of the United States, and probably do some streaming over there, or maybe traveling. It's an ongoing project, but I want to travel next winter and don't spend any time in Canada, or as less as possible time in Canada where the snow is really cold and uncomfortable. So I'll do my best to do that next year. This year it just doesn't make sense to me. I have way too much contract ahead of me. I cannot take some time off, but definitely next year. We'll see how far the channel is going, but I'm planning on maybe doing some live stream from your place. Maybe some church that have live streaming set up already in place that I can call you guys, maybe come the day before, set up everything, or a streaming session. Could be with a phone. It could be, I don't want anything fancy, but maybe I will try to go somewhere else, seeing your wing. It's a plan, work in progress. I'm talking about it a year in advance, so maybe I can work out some stuff, maybe some stuff on the way up or down from Canada too. But it will be fun. I think it will be fun to move the show on the road. Call it the road show live stream. I don't know. For that, I would need to have an RV, because today, knocking on wood, I think I sold my RV. And I'm probably going to buy a new one for next year. A little smaller than my 35-foot one. But, yeah. This is the plan for next year. As always, make sure that you like this video if you like what we're doing here. If you're not a subscriber of the channel, subscribe. And if you want to support me in what I do, think about becoming a member or a super member. Super member have access to my full streaming setup with this camera that I didn't try that is working today. Yes. And all the other stuff over video conference. You get 1 hour per month of free one-on-one time with me if you join as a member. I appreciate every single of my member. Thank you very much, guys. You have no idea how much you helping out with this channel by subscribing as a member. Not even a super member, just a member. Thank you. Now, moving on. Okay, Ghana is from West Africa. Sorry, never been there. Maybe one day. We'll see. After that, Greece, we said Stratos, yeah, of course. What's going on in the chat? Guys, start me up with your question while I'm trying to catching up with the chat. Okay, Stratos, our wing has arrived. So finally you're a wing owner, but can't really take her on a show because the flight case hasn't arrived yet. I'm going to give you a hint. If you have an X32 case laying around, you can put it in there. It will fit. Not a perfect fit, but enough to carry it around without breaking it. Again, be careful of the scribble strip, the LED display on top of every channel in your screen. I'm pretty sure, and I want your opinion about that, guys. Everybody that complained that has a broken touchscreen, some of them were broken from the factory in the beginning. No question about that. Do you believe that people... I'm asking. I'm not pointing the finger at anybody. Do you believe that some people may or may not have dropped a talkback mic or something happened to their touchscreen and they're complaining that it's broken? Want your opinion. As much as I believe that the touchscreen is a fair quality one, it's pretty sure not that high-end of a touchscreen. It's not army grade, you know, you cannot hit it with a hammer and it's still gonna work. I want your opinion. How many people do you think cheated a little bit and say that their touchscreen is broken from the factory where, in fact, they just dropped the mic on it? Don't point a finger at anybody. Just want your opinion. What else going on? Charlie, Texas. Oh, Texas. It's a nice place. I would like to visit that next year. Definitely want to visit that next year. I just got my Behringer wing and I don't know how to route my output speaker to hear anything. Okay, well, we can definitely take a look at that. This is a really simple routing that we're gonna do. I'm gonna move over to my console view here. We're gonna go in routing. I'm gonna go with the default setup. So, ooh, what's going on here? Can you guys see? Can you guys see what's going on? Is it clear? Sorry, you have to take a look at the other monitor because my screen here is too small. Okay. Local output is where your stuff's gonna happen. By default, 1 and 2 is not the main out. When I'm talking about main out is by default, all your channels are assigned to main out 1 and it's already patched. When you initialize the console, it's already patched in 7 and 8 and everything else is bus. Is mono bus, so bus 1, 2, 3, actually they are here 3, 4, 5, 6 and after that main out left and right. Main out 1 left and right. If you want to have your speaker connected to somewhere, connected to main, or actually XLR output in the back 7 and 8. While we're at it, I don't know if you are in a... You're gonna need super help. Okay. I don't know if you are in a studio context or a live context. If you are in a live context, you want your main out 1 to be 7 and 8. By default, leave it like that. I try to leave as much stuff as possible as default, so that way when I reset or initialize the console, it just makes sense. So 7 and 8 is a good option. If you are in a studio context and you want to plug in your studio monitor, you don't really want to use the XLR. Okay, you are in a studio, then you want to go aux out and use 7 and 8. Why? Let me explain. By default, if you don't have anything soloed on the console, 7 and 8 will reflect what's going out of main out 1. You can change that, absolutely no problem, but by default, 7 and 8 is what you hear in the headphone in the back. What I have my in-ear monitor right now plugged in the headphone output of the console. You have one on each side. Make sure to use physical 1/4 inch in the back, 7 and 8, and everything that I'm going to tell you right now is going to line up. Now, I'm going to click on the view next to the USB on the left side of the console. Come here. That's going to give up. That's not going to give up. That's going to pump up the solo page. Sorry, that's bugging me a lot. Uh-oh. There we go. By default, when you don't have anything soloed, no input, no main out, the source that you select here will be reflected in your output 7 and 8. You can change that. You can change that to be any other main. You can change that to be a matrices. Whoops. Bus. I hit the bus here instead, but you have a lot of option. Could be the aux input. Could be anything. I'm leaving it to main 1. That way, everything is by default. I try to leave everything as much as possible by default here. So if you plug your speaker into 7 and 8, that should work. It will give you out your sound out of the main 1. Whatever you send into main 1 is going to be reflected in there. And if you solo something, it's also going to be soloed in your box. Hope that helped. Become a super member. If you become a super member, in our one-on-one session, I will help you out with everything. Before that, if you have any more question about the console, it's time. This is why we're doing this Monday live stream. Never be afraid to ask anything here. This is the reason why we're here. This is why we're growing a community. Even if I don't have the answer, some other people in the chat may have it. Together, we fix problem. We help everybody have a good time with their console. Okay, on that note, what else? Who else has a question in the chat? Wayne doesn't have support delay on bus, only main matrix in input. Interesting. Maybe we're gonna learn something. Let's go back on our console view. If you join as a super member, it will pop up in the chat that you became a super member. Beware of that. Okay, I want to take a look at this. Bus, I'm going to select bus 1 here, and I'm going to go home. Is there any way to have a delay on that bus? I think I have answered that question before, but no. There is nothing here where the delay is usually. Let's take a look just for fun at... I'm going to change the page here. I'm going to go... not main... Okay, I can actually click on main 1 on the right here. And yeah, okay. We have output delay for that. And let's go back to bus. No, nothing. So I'm going to alternate between main 1 and bus 1. We have a delay output. We don't have anything. Okay, definitely going to be a request. I'm going to send that out to the lovely people over at Music Tribe and request for bus delay, because when I'm doing monitor with a console, when I'm doing stage monitor, I'd like to time align my side fill. Usually it's a small PA that you put on side of the stage with monitor. I like to time align these so when you are standing in the middle of the stage, everything, the sound is coming at you at the same time, even if there's a difference in distance between you and the floor monitor and the side. I like to push back on the floor monitor. I like to delay it a little bit, so the sound from the side is going to be like a couple feet away from me, and I delay the difference between the side and the monitor from the singing position. That's helping a lot, getting everything sounded together and tight. So I'm gonna have a reason to the argument. Okay, at your company, you only have M32R and other brands. Stratos. Oh, really sorry for that. M32R is actually my favorite of the bunch. I used to have an M32R. I used to own one. And for the size, the flexibility of the interface, it's my favorite console of all the M or X family. Really, really like that. But sorry, you don't have a case for it. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Okay, let me use the announcer voice here. Gotta drop down the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, please say welcome to the wonderful, the marvelous Patrick Gilles Maillot. Always fun to have you around, Patrick. Good to know that you are joining us for these live stream. Guys, if you need a little more out of your wing, if you want to have a little cool software that you can run on the side to give more flexibility, more feature to your console, go check out Patrick's website, x32ram.com, x32ram.com. He's developing software for a lot of stuff, like a lot of automation. He's got a really good software that will help you run your wing with Reaper if you guys are in the studio and using Reaper. Also, he has a really cool software that allow you to use the two SD card here. Well, actually, I only have one, but if you have two, he has a cool software that allow you to record like on tape, switching back and forth between two SD cards. It just auto assign and enable channel routing for you. It's basically a channel management plugin running from a computer, but you don't record on a computer, you record on SD card. Go check out his website. He's got a lot of cool stuff. And he's also helping a lot of people on this channel with question. He's got answer to question that I don't have the answer. So always a pleasure to have you around, Patrick. Mautor, I cannot answer that question. Not right now. Stick around. You guys will have cool surprise coming up. So I see that I had to use the USB audio because I have the Wing plugin to my Mac Mini for Logic. I can hear now. Yes, you need to use the USB audio or actually you have a couple options. I don't know if Dente is on. If you have I'm gonna guess here that you have a new M1 Mac. I don't know if the Dente plugin is there, but you can also use Dente if you have an external or internal card in your Wing. USB is just fine. If you're good with the 48 channel that you have over USB, don't bother. Don't buy a Dente license and interface. It's gonna cost you a lot of money. Maybe it will be a little bit more stable, but overall, it's just gonna be fine over USB. Yeah, I'm using both Dente and USB too. Actually, I've done this for a studio recording, actually a TV recording, web TV recording, where I was using the SD card as a backup. I was running a full mix plus individual input plus a full mix in 32 channel. I was also recording over USB on one computer, and I was also recording over Dente on a second computer. Everybody, please say hi to Herman, one of my longest member of all time. Also say hi to Ivan. Ivan has also been one of the few people that stuck around the channel for a really long time. Please say hi to these guys. They are here, they are helping, or asking really good question. And we can all learn from them. Other colleagues disagreed that the M32 is the best console of the line because they can't really understand M32. Oh man, what do you mean? The M32R user output. You don't even have to use it. Just plug in 7 and 8 in the back, or just use a damn stage box and work it out like if it's a console. But it's an awesome console for the footprint. It's amazing. I wish that one day they will have a rack wing, a wing R, with just a like 16 fader or 12 fader and a screen. This is all I want. I don't need anything here. I want that full screen, that full size screen in front of 12 fader, bank of 8, bank of 4 for my main out, a couple user key, and call it a day. Basically, I want this half of the console, but get rid of the USB stuff, or actually keep the USB, but I just want a couple custom control over there. Like, if I can only have this, like these 8 in the bottom, having a user, mute group, and 2-track and show control, happy camper. Put that here. So, yeah, just put all the knobs here, and actually, do we have all the knobs here? Yeah, we got access to pretty much everything on this section, so just put that, get rid of the USB or solo stuff, put that as a software thing, and give me some user-defined key here on the left. It will be really, really, really fun. What's going on here? Okay, so a long one here from Studio 11. Creating a silent stage using Wing S32, and I'm picking up P16D and the 8P16M. Audio work great, but need multiple MIDI controller drum back from stage. Why would you need that? Is there a unit that can plug on stage to handle multiple MIDI controller back to the Wing? Really interesting question. I don't know. The real answer is I don't know. Because the sound is going to work fine for sure. But the MIDI, electric drums and synth, and do you need them to be on a MIDI network? Or could you have a MIDI network? I know there are some options, and I'm gonna ask Patrick if he has time to pick up on this one. Is there a way to have a MIDI network that you deal with an external computer, of course, because the Wing do not do MIDI network, but could you have MIDI network from an interface and just send a signal? Actually, yeah, the problem is you need to reach from RTP MIDI, what is that? RTP MIDI, I don't know that software or plugin. Charlie. But there's definitely some option. Can you... Okay, it's network MIDI. H network MIDI, okay. The option will be to run something with a computer, because I don't think the Wing by default can, or actually Patrick could let us know if it's possible to integrate MIDI over network from the network cable in the back of the Wing. I don't know if it's physically possible, but if it's just software based, maybe maybe we can enable that in the future, or ask for the feature to be there, and that way you can run a network. You would need a separate cable, but you can run a network to go MIDI over some stuff. Because I would love, hear me out, I would love to have one cable to do everything. If I could do like USB, because right now my setup is running over USB. I'm using a USB extender to my computer in the other room. I'm sending out sound. What you hear right now is this microphone plug in the back of the wing, and I'm using the USB to send that in MIDI command from here to change my camera, like I'm doing right now. All that into a USB connector to the computer. Okay, so not directly to Wing, but it will be fun if we can have a network eventually. I don't know if it's a physical limitation or not, or if it can or cannot be integrated, but if the MIDI signal could be sent into the same network cable as Dente, so we can have Dente over a long run, and also sending out MIDI information in the same cable from the network card of the console out to a computer, and those messages could be read or heard from the computer, will be awesome. I don't know. Yeah, Charlie, it's a matter of physical limitation and communication between the chip. Actually, just using your computer should do it. RTP to MIDI converter, virtual MIDI in the computer, and USB to Wing. I'm not sure to understand virtual MIDI to the computer and USB. Yeah, but I would need a computer at the front of house. The thing is, I would like to have a standalone console, basically. I would like to have, one cable from front of house where I can control some MIDI command and just send that into one cable that is really far away. Because the thing is, I'm repeating myself here, but I always see the console from a front of house engineer, so I'm thinking about be really far from the stage. I cannot, in a studio context, I can definitely understand that. Well, actually, I would not bother. I would just use MIDI like I'm doing right now. But let's say that I'm in a festival, I'm really far out, I would like to get message from the computer on stage, from a computer on stage that could trigger some stuff on my console. And I wish I could send out some MIDI message to a system on stage. If I'm 100 meters away or 100 meters of cable away from the stage, MIDI over USB could be an option with an extender, but it's not practical, it's not show ready. But if I could run, let's say 2 cable, one for AES50 or Dente, and just run that, honestly, should be no issue to have the MIDI to the internet stack. MIDI takes very, very little bandwidth. So this is what I'm thinking. So I don't know. I'm gonna do the request? No, it's probably not a priority. I'm sure it's not a priority. But maybe I'm gonna do the request for that. If it's possible to just enable MIDI out or in and out over network. I'm pretty sure some people would have a use for this, and I don't know how difficult that would be to just have that integrated into the console. But I will send the request. We'll see what happens. Worst case ever, it doesn't happen. Best case scenario, it happened. Jonathan, hi Jonathan, how are you? Good to have you back, my member, lovely member. I love you guys. I love my member. I love other people too, but my member just a tiny bit more. Okay. There are a number of MIDI options running that work. Okay, I read that. Sorry. What else? Well, do you still rock the 846 in-ear monitor, and do you use them? And do you use a balanced cable for them? What are your thoughts on the FIO BTR7 and I'm still rocking the 846. I'm using them right now. No, I'm using the Shure provided cable because, well, it's a speaker cable. It doesn't need to be balanced. And I don't know what are the units that you're talking about. Sorry, I'm a live sound engineer. I think you're talking about the little MP3 player FIO thing. I'm no expert on these things. I do not. I'm not an audiophile at all. I just don't care about A to D and D to A conversion to listen to mix on portable device. I care more about thousands, or if not millions, of watt of sound into a big line array. $20 per side L acoustic PA. I'm not really into like portable music at all. Or actually, in-ear monitor matters to me as a sound engineer from musician to hear themselves on stage, and it's totally a different ball game than the compressed music. When I say compressed music, I mean mixed and mastered music. Because this is something that the audiophile do not seem to understand. When I'm talking about compressed music, I'm not talking about encoding compression. I'm talking about physical compressor on mix. Because when I'm doing live monitoring jobs for band, the dynamic would be too much for a regular speaker to handle that. And listening to those, actually everybody has done it here. You take a mix, you listen, you record it on a USB key, you listen to it in a computer, car, whatever. It's not going to be loud because your mix is probably going to have a lot of good transient from your kick, from your vocal, but because it's not compressed, everything else is going to sound far away. It's a different game of mixing. It's a different game of listening. When you imagine a drummer with in-ears on that tried to overpower physically his bass drum when he's hitting it with his feet. This is what I have to compete with. So a drummer need to have like a bass drum sent to him really loud to overpower the 96 to 100 dB of physical pressure from the kick itself. For him to hear it really well, I need to push over that. So that much dynamic, because a bass drum with a lot of low-end information into a earphone at 100 dB, not everything can handle that much dynamic and power. I'm not talking about I don't know how to say it. It's different. It's different to listen to compressed mastered music because the dynamic range of headphone that we need to have good live feeling in-ear mixes has to be way too dynamic versus what regular speaker or headphone can handle. iPod, those little iPod thing that they give with iPhone, you would break them listening to that because they do not have the travel range to reproduce what you send from this. So this is why I cannot have any opinion on those Fabio whatever, because first I don't own any of these and it's not the same kind of music. It's not the same kind of sound. I don't care how John Bonham recorded stuff back in the 70s and how I can listen to that in 48K or actually 192K into good headphone. Well, sure, it's a good listening experience, but this is not what I do. I'm doing live sound with bands. Sorry. Sorry, guys. I degraded here. Um, what else? What's going on here other than that? But okay, all that to say that my 846 are really good, really reliable. I'm still using the same pair. I may need to replace the cable at some point because it started to become a little greenish from the sweat and use, because I'm using it every single week to do a show, roughly. And just being out in festival situation in the summer, the sweat that having the cable rub in against my skin introduce moisture in it. And the cable, I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna try to. No, you probably won't see it. I need to reach it, and it's in my shirt right now, so you won't see it. But the cable has started becoming a little green from the sweat and the moisture. And at some point, when it's really green, and it will introduce resistance in the cable, and they sound a little less as good as they used to. You replace the cable, and you go like, the IN open up a little bit more in your headphone. But after almost 5 years, replacing the $30 cable is not that bad. Have you ever used the plugin called Stereo Image? I can't remember the name of it, but it's something image. Are we talking about the Velvet image? Let's go take a look at that. Effect. I'm gonna go in a empty. This one. This one's on my talkback. Okay, good. This is good. Let's go with the Velvet Imager. This thing here. I don't remember how it really sounds, but this is not something that I'm using a lot, but definitely sounds stereo. I didn't experiment with it a lot other than when it was released. I used to play with it at the firmware release, but it definitely sound Velvet Imager, yeah. No, not using that a lot. I can probably try it on vocal or maybe acoustic guitar. Maybe this will be good on acoustic guitar. If I'm doing something like this, I usually put chorus on my acoustic guitar. So maybe this and the little, how does it call? What's the thing that I'm looking for? The body res. The body res. I could use the body res. Oh, I never tried that on vocal. Let's see how it's changing the mid range and harmonics. The body res. Hey. I could definitely use this because I love this on acoustic guitar. It really do sound good. And I could have that with the Velvet Imager just to get a more stereo spectrum of stuff. Sorry, guys. So yeah, no, I don't use it, but I can definitely see a reason to use it. Oh, it sounds like weird phasing to me. How does it sound in your ear? There you go. So yeah, can probably see a use for this. Maybe on background vocal. Let you put everybody into a bus and you take that. Yeah. Take that on a bus and send that into a reverb, maybe? Into a stereo reverb. That would sound probably really wide. You use it on your broadcast mix. Really? It's probably making everything sound weird, no? I want your opinion. I don't think it will sound good on an overall mix. I think it's more for instrument stuff. Doing your best Tim the Toolman Taylor impression? I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. Hello, French Canadian here. I don't know much about cultural reference from English people other than the TV show that I've watched. Jonathan, my issue is I struggle to maintain singing volume range in the room. sound good, but online it's distorted. Okay, compression is your friend, and multiple layer of compression is your friend. What else? The Velvet Major sound weird when you push it on vocal, maybe on acoustic guitar when chorus. Yeah, definitely acoustic guitar instead of chorus, I think. Send that into a reverb, and this on acoustic guitar with the body res would sound really, really good, I think. I would need to try it out. Can you send me a link, Jonathan? Send me a link over email this for your stream. I'm curious to hear that. I cannot do it now, and I will have to leave in a few minutes because I have some other stuff to take care of today. I'm sorry to cut down on the stream, but I just have to. But we did an hour. I'm gonna try to do like an hour, so around 20 minutes before I go. So if you guys have any question, it's now or never, because I can otherwise just stop the stream anytime. Just kidding. Pancho, have you ever used headphone amp to send in-ear wire to musician? Yes, I do. I just bought myself from a friend a Behringer P1, you know, those amplified P1, and on other show for keyboard player and people that don't move, I have some P1. They seem to be fine, honestly. No, not much complaint about them. They just seem, you know, a wired or wireless pack have a color. It will, at some point, play around with the EQ of your mix, play with the width of your mix, because it's, amplification device, and every device doesn't sound exactly the same, so everything has a little bit of color and tone coloration. So far, so good. Oh yeah, Patrick, like Patrick said, send some mix over here. Send some link over here, sorry, of your mix. I want to hear that. But yeah, Pancho, I'm using those all the time. The Behringer one, how does it call it? The headphone amp, HA8000. 8 preamp or amplifier, headphone amplifier, that sound decently fine for what we're doing for monitoring. And yeah, you can have those used for $100 and you can make 8 stereo mixes out of them. So if your band want to run wired, because let's be honest, not everybody has, guitar wireless. Other than the singer in most bands, everybody is wired most of the time. Just build yourself a 1/4-inch cable with a headphone extension on it. Send that into your system and call it a day. I use wired in here with my previous band when I was playing in a cover band. I used to have that HA 8000 or 8400. I don't remember. One of those Behringer preamp. Just used that for everybody. Everybody was running a double cable, the HA 8000. There you go. Everybody was running like I'm having right now. Hold on. I got it, guys. Oh, damn it. I was running not maybe a coily one like that, but I was running headphone extension like I have right now on this thing. And everybody was happy. Just put a 1/4-inch and headphone amplifier wire together, electrical tape, and call it a day. It works just fine. It sounds maybe a little better if your mix sounds good. Use XLR to do it. Yeah, that will work too. XLR with adapter. But I find the adapter when you take a female XLR with an adapter and then the 1/4-inch to a 1/8 adapter, it becomes like a huge plug that is like restraining in your pocket. It's like having a mag light in your pocket. Not fun all the time. So yeah, I'm recommending using good quality headphone cable. 25 feet or maybe longer than that will just work fine. But yeah, for Ben, if you want to be really cheap, the rig that I recommend for in-ear setup wired is a X32 rack with the HA 8000. Work awesome for Ben. Using the P1, P2 can also work if you want to build yourself some Y cable, or maybe more like insert cable to use the P2, the small battery P2. But if you're going wired, just go with no batteries. Just go with the rack unit. Or if you want to go no batteries, take a P1 from Behringer, put that on your pedal board if you're a guitar player or a bass player. Put that on your pedal board, wire it up like, a guitar cable, and use the power supply from your pedal. And you don't need to put any battery in there. It's just going to be on your pedal board. You just, when you plug in your guitar, you plug in your headphone with that, and that's going to be really good. Okay, on this note, guys, my phone is ringing a lot in my pocket right now, so I'm gonna go take care of that. I have a busy day ahead of me. And on that note, I will see you all next week. I want you to please take care of yourself. Please like this video if you like what we're doing here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. You guys are subscribing more and more to this channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate every single one of you that subscribe. Merci to all my French-speaking people. Merci. Thank you to everybody else who's listening to these podcast live stream. I don't know how to call it anymore. I don't know if it's a podcast or a live stream. You guys let me know in the comment below. Till the next one, I'm gonna see if that button is working this time. Please take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys. See you guys, gals. I don't know. I don't speak English today, guys. It's time for me to wrap it up. Until the next one, you take care of yourself. I love you. You're a good person. Have a good day. See you next week. Not working. That's what I thought. Maybe I'm gonna try to fix it. Why is it not working? MIDI, toggle, CC, stuff like that. Go. Why is it not working? Maybe I just didn't set it up. Okay. We're live for real. Okay, I'm gonna go manually change it. Guys, take care of it. Take care. I'm gonna take care of that. See you all next week. See ya.